Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Movement for Healing, week 5, and the last week of our
Yay.
little series here. But we're going to end on a positive note. So the last few weeks have been kind of heavy, but this week we're looking at using movement to maintain joy.
I like the word joy.
So perfect for this time of year.
Yes, it is. It's almost Christmas time here. And so we're just getting ready to start all the festivities and all the fun things that are happening.
Yes.
That really, this is great for any time of year.
Great for any time.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes we forget to feel joy.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
So the first thing we want to look at is how joy feels in the body. And it can feel like a sense of lightness, expansiveness, warmth. Joy brings increased spontaneity and playfulness. I like the term glimmers. I don't know if
I
you've
love
heard
that.
of that.
I love that.
It's sort of the direct opposite of triggers.
I love that glimmers. That's perfect.
It's these moments throughout the day where that you feel this joy in your body. It can be like watching the sunrise or seeing the sun reflect off the glass a certain way. I don't know what it is.
Right.
But
I feel like it kind of gives. I love the playfulness. I think that really inhibits or includes the word joy really quite inclusively. I also like the feeling of I love the word glimmers. It makes me think of sparkles.
Yeah,
and I love sparkles. So I think that like positive attitude, like a little bit of like doors of opportunity, willing to jump instead of held back. Like I kind of see that's glimmers can be like that sparkle in the eye towards other people. It can be a little bit of like maybe it's chills.
Yeah.
Like a happy chills.
Having those moments of joy where you get like the tingly sensation in your body.
Yeah. And I think that this is really important to know that this can be different for everyone. And so like how does glimmers show up for you is like a really great way to recognize or understand how joy feels for you. And I think that like mine kind of shows up through positive attitude, through playfulness, through thinking positively, willing to like do things that when I'm in a state of sadness or I'm in a state of like blah or contentment, I don't really normally jump to do, but I'm more willing. I guess. And so like that's how I kind of recognize joy, but like recognizing it how it feels for you is really important.
Yeah, and for me it's just sort of like a deep contentment.
Right.
Like just a deep knowing that like I'm here, I'm present, I'm content, and I have the ability and capacity to kind of like take on whatever happens.
So like overwhelm might not be
as overwhelming,
but it still could be there. And don't forget that we can also feel joy and sadness at the same time. So those people that are depressed or have notions of depressive behaviors or whatever you want to call them, it's really important to also know that you can also feel joy and sadness at the same time. There can be a hint of sadness, but still feel joy.
Yeah, I think it's important, like in those moments, to recognize, like, okay, where's the joy in my body? What does my body feel like with the joy, and then what does my body feel like, when it's sad, and to kind of separate those and just have that introspective awareness of the body sensations, so you can kind of map out what belongs to what, basically.
Right. And I feel like a big component to joy is gratitude, like having gratitudes, which is why it's so important that we do those gratitude journals or say 3 things a day or whatever it is. It helps us open our eyes to the ability to understand like, oh, hey, gratitude. Like when I can see things in the world that I'm grateful for, it can make me feel joyful.
For sure. Yeah.
Having those things.
I love gratitude journals. So we like movement can be used to maintain joy in a couple different ways. But the way movement works is it releases endorphins and serotonin, which we talked about before a few weeks ago, and those sort of naturally boost your mood. So when you're feeling kind of down and like schlumpy, just like moving it triggers your body to release these endorphins. It's just sort of an automatic body response, and that can make you feel happier. And it also reduces stress hormones and promotes a sense of safety and creativity. One thing I I really like. It's a quote that I heard somewhere. When anxiety decreases, spontaneity increases.
I love that.
And so kind of channeling this movement through your body can help reduce anxiety, which can increase your sense of spontaneity and playfulness.
I love that.
I really like.
That is so fair. And when you recognize and have awareness around that, like how that can be a huge attribute to have to internalize into the world around you. I feel like I'm struggling with words today.
And I haven't had coffee today, so we're both in this together.
So deal with us and our word issues this morning. But I really feel like, I think that is super important, that to recognize how our body moves, how it works. And when we can tell when we're letting go of some of those things that are inhibiting us, or not allowing us to promote safety and creativity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So it's all about body awareness, and that's sort of what this whole series has been about. So
right. It's very intuitive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Intuition, intuitiveness.
So this one, I really like this one. I really like using movement to maintain joy. I mean, as a dancer, this is something I've done for my whole life. And it has really helped me to lean into the playful parts of myself and kind of like reparent that inner child, right? And just bring joy to that inner child. We don't give ourselves permission to play enough as adults.
That's so true.
I love watching young children kind of like playing at the park or just running around, because they don't have inhibitions with their body movements. They can play without feeling self-conscious. They can like throw themselves on the ground and laugh about it. We have to be a little more careful about that as adults, because we're a little bit older.
Yes.
But it's okay to play. It's okay to use your body to play as an adult.
Have you ever seen like an adult play like a child?
No.
I have. I've seen an adult play like a child.
Yeah.
In fact, I went to Walmart, and there's this guy at Walmart, and he just sings at the top of his lungs, and he works there, and he loads the cart, and he wears like bow ties and cute vests, depending on the holiday season, and he just sings at the top of his lungs. He doesn't care. He carries around a little go music box. What do they call it?
A boom box.
A boom box. And he just sings it, and he'll like dance in the like aisleways, and he doesn't even like make eye contact with people to see if they're like looking and watching him. Yeah. He just kind of like does his thing as he's filling these orders for the customers at Walmart. Yeah. So if you're ever on 106 South and you want to go and visit a really fun guy at Walmart, I don't know when he's there. Can't tell you that, but that is like an example that I have of like, and it kind of throws us off a little. Like we're like, whoa, social norms. Like this is weird, right? Like it's kind of different. I mean, I don't want to use the word weird because it could be considered negative, but it's different, and it takes us a minute. And now that I've been there and I've seen him 3 or 4 times, I'm like, oh, that's just that fun dude that like sings and dances like nobody's watching. Like, don't we all kind of wish we could be like that?
I think that's maybe where some of that judgment comes from. It's because internally we're like, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I was that free and like uninhibited. Right. And so we use that. It comes out as judgment of like someone who is doing that.
Right.
But it's okay to play. It can, tap into that sense of wonder and freedom that we had as children that has kind of been like, we've grown out of it in certain ways. And it can also rewire our nervous system by associating movement with feelings of pleasure and ease. when to help kind of kick us out of those trauma states that we talked about a couple weeks ago. And then it also releases, and this is kind of what we talked about, that idea of rigidity and self-consciousness by allowing ourselves to play and to move, just give our bodies permission to move however feels good for them and to do whatever feels good. It can kind of release some of that self-consciousness that a lot of us really hold on to.
Right. I this is reminding me of like Brene Brown, and I think she has like, I think it's 10, it might be more than that, but it's concepts to wholehearted living, and playfulness and play is like one of them. And if that's important according to like shame and research, and how to like zone ourselves back into a wholehearted way of living, maybe we need to incorporate a little bit more of that. And what does that look like for you? Right? Recognizing like for me, it might be very different than it is for Jody. You know, what is my playfulness? Flirting with my husband. What does that look like? And how can that be playful and fun and rekindle that relationship and move and grow that? What does it look like to be playful with your children instead of so serious all the time? And having that, but then having that movement with them, right? Like when we talk about movement, it can be all sorts of different things, and I don't want to jump forward, but watch coming here in just a few moments. We're going to kind of explain some of those to you on like how you can move forward with your friends and that dance and that movement with your friends and creating those good relationships, neighbors, people in the grocery store that you walk past or that you don't really know very well. You know, it's all about the movements that we have in our life and how we can like really build a playful nature in having those, which can like build connections. Right?
My boyfriend and I will go to grocery stores or to, you know, we were at Home Depot the other day and we were doing some little hand dances on the little carpet pieces that they have here going like this. And it's fun. It's fun to be playful and it does build connection.
Yes. I love that. Like Home Depot came to my mind. My husband will always grab one of those big machinery and pretend like it's a gun, you know? And he's like, and it's not a gun, by the way. It's just I don't even know what it is. Yeah, probably a 2x4. But, you know, and it's just playful. And then I'll act like he's shooting me and I, you know, will pretend to fall to the ground and people look at us like we're weird. But it's like fun, you know, and we laugh and giggle. We're like, remember that one time when you were at Home Depot? Yeah. And you played hand movements on the carpet? That was really funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. It's ridiculous. So there are some movement practices that do kind of foster this idea of dance like nobody's watching.
I love this.
So one thing you can do, and all of these can be done, like if you can do them alone, you can, like, if you have a kid, you know, grab your kid and let them join in with you, or grab your partner, whoever's there, grab your dog.
A stuffed animal, even a pillow.
But put on an upbeat song or your favorite, if you have a favorite song, put on your favorite song, and just move however feels natural. And I know for non-movers, this can feel very intimidating because we culturally have kind of created like movement and dance. It needs to look a certain way. It's very performative. And so for non-movers to say, just move is like, okay, but how's it supposed to look? Am I doing it right? I'm not a good dancer, so I can't do it. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. What we're looking for is just allowing your body to move. And if you need a little more guidance, if that still feels intimidating, what I like to do is choose a body part. And a fun way to choose a body part is to write down a bunch of body parts on a piece of paper, cut them up, and put them in a bowl. Pick one out and use that body part to initiate movement. So if it's like your hand, it's okay. So my hand is just going to kind of go like this, and maybe my arm will follow.
Right? My nose.
Yeah. You can use your nose to, like, you know, move your head around. But yeah, it's just moving, just move.
Well, and I don't think that there's a possibility for me to be able to move without feeling joyful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if one and the same goes together, but it always does for me. And so I think that's an attitude that kind of comes with movement that like inhibits or it excites my system and it makes me feel joyful, and laughter kind of always follows. Like if my kids are in a really bad mood, if I get up and start doing a dance with them, or I start shaking them around, or picking them up and twirling them, they can't help but to giggle and laugh, and it kind of takes them out of that mood really quickly, and so it does foster a sense of joy and laughter and connection. And can we also talk about attachments, right? Like attachments are really important, as we're more finding out as time kind of goes on. And so it can foster a sense of attachment with your child or with your loved ones, or even with someone. I've done some movements with people I don't even know before at a dance in the grocery store, moving the way around and like tiptoeing or skipping and being like, "Oh, so sorry, I'm in your way," and you like kind of skip out of the way and they kind of giggle and laugh. Like, you didn't have to do it in that weird way, but you just did.
You did,
And so like there's movement that can happen, and what happens to them? It changes the way that they view the world, and going forward, maybe they were in a bad mood, and now it changes the way that they move forward in their life from that point on. For that day, maybe, or for that moment.
I love that. And another practice that I really like is movement inspired by imagery. So here's a couple examples, and it can be, you can kind of substitute whatever you want. But first one is a tree dance. So you can imagine yourself as a tree, like kind of swaying back and forth. Your arms and legs are your branches. See how it feels to like stretch them out. Maybe a bird landed on your branch and you're like bend it a little bit. But just sort of imagine all the ways that a tree moves and embody that.
Right. And let's take a moment here. I think this is a good part right here, is to take a moment, and I want you to pause this video and try out this tree dance. If you're a non-mover and you're watching this is a really great time to see how non-moving you are. Are there what kind of emotions are coming up? Like, am I feeling uncomfortable? I might be the only person in the room, and I'm feeling like this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. Like, I don't even know how to move like a tree, and I'm all here by myself, right? Or if I have no problem and I'm skipping and dancing around the room, being a tree. Like, let's pause the video right here and then just restart it when you're done. Okay, welcome back. How did that work?
I'm curious to hear how that went for you. I don't know where these are being posted, but leave a comment if you can about how that went for you, what you experienced. We would love to hear your thoughts. Another sort of a little bit more maybe advanced level. If you've done the tree dance. Try the candle dance.
If you weren't able to do the tree dance, let's imagine the candle dance. Like, there's a part of imagining that can start with it too.
I like the candle one, really resonates with me. I like doing this. It's, you use your movement to demonstrate like how a candle burns, because candles have a lot of movement in them. You have like the flickering flame, you have the wax dripping down and like puddling. You have like the heat of the fire that you can play with. So all of these different sensations that you can embody through movement. So try to create those experiences in your body. It's just another imagery.
I think that this is great. And if at this point you want to take some time and pause the video and try the candle dance on how that works for you, go ahead and do so at this time right now. Okay, here we come back.
So you've done the tree dance, you've done the candle dance, and the last movement practice that I have for you, and this kind of goes back to what you were saying about attachment and connection and how movement can help you feel connected to the people around you. So these are group-based movements and movements for connection. The first one is if you are in a larger group, you can create a circle dance. I don't know. This brings up for me watching like videos and movies of like folk dances from other cultures where they are at like a celebration and they're all holding hands and doing a little cultural dance. And
I love it's that. Like ritualistic, right? And there's a reason why it's ritualistic. there's a reason why there's a lot of people that are involved in this, and we circle around one another because we can see their faces, and there's movement usually around like a bonfire or a campfire, or even just someone special sitting in the middle when we're doing Ring Around the Rosies, right? Like there can be some really great components that add some joy and entertainment. It can also help us feel something really big. I mean, because if we're circle dancing, then it's because we're celebrating something, right? Or we're getting ready to like build up momentum or movement around something, or like it's a bigger way to bring out emotions in a big way. Like if you're going to have to go and fight, the next day they'll do these fighting dances that will like promote, that momentum, to get it going.
Yeah, it's a good way to create a sense of belonging, and feel part of something bigger than yourself. And this dance is just, hold hands, small repetitive steps, even just like skipping around in a circle or bringing the circle smaller and expanding it. Like there's a number of different ways to participate in this. If you aren't in a big group, you can still do it with like family, even with just one other person. Just hold hands facing each other and like, form a circular connection that way.
Or dancing around an object, I feel like that can help us feel like a circle dance with momentum and excitement around that.
Yeah. And the second one is sort of a call and response type of movement activity. Again, it can be done in a circle if you have enough people to create a circle. And one person starts by performing a movement, and a prompt that I like to use is demonstrate what joy feels like in your body, and have them or like what is a movement that makes you feel joyful. A prompt like that, and perform that movement, and then another person either mirrors that movement or responds with their own interpretation, and you kind of just go around the circle and share that joy with each other.
I love that. That could actually be a really fun activity, like a get to know you or a fun activity.
Yeah.
It reminds me of what's that one show where they get out there and they sing a song and dance, and then they like, okay, your turn, like turn it off to the other person, or you dance in a circle and then you like point to another person, you're like, okay, go, and then you try to one up each other a little,
It's sort of like a duel, but in a nice way.
Right, duel in a nice way.
So both of these are just really, really helpful. Like we kind of heal in community, I think, and so bringing these movement practices in can help create some of that group healing. And then, of course, as always, we end with a little try it yourself. So the first thing is just notice how your body feels when you feel joyful. And you can document this in your journal, but just notice what those sensations are. Is it lightness? Do you feel warmth? Do you feel like those tingly, hair-raising feelings? Like, how does it feel in your body? That way you can notice it when it happens. And then also create rituals. So we both have kind of said that rituals are incorporating them into your habits will help your body naturally go there when it needs to. So build these like small movement rituals into your day. It can be the tree dance. It can be putting on a song and just moving. Whatever resonates with you. Try to build those into your day, because this will kind of anchor the joy in your body, and it will become a regular practice for you.
Yes, exactly. I love this. So good. I just think about like a lot of times when I have clients who are like in a deep set of depression, sometimes this is the first place I go, is just creating, just having movement. Even if it's you can't get out of bed in the morning, let's start with just some movement. Let's start with your fingers, moving your fingers, and allowing yourself to like find it funny.
It's okay to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
laugh with yourself. Don't laugh at yourself.
Yeah, there you go. Laugh with
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
This has been really awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us for this little movement for healing journey that we've been on the last few weeks. It's been fun.
I know it has been fun. I know. I love this. And this is like a type of therapy, just so you know. If this really resonates with you and you're really finding like a deep sense of healing through these last couple weeks or slides that we've done this, then this could be like a type of therapy that might really resonate with you. Do you want to talk with them just a little bit about like the movement type of therapy with, I can't think of the name of it. Somatic.
Yeah.
Yes. Somatic healing.
Yeah. I mean, like we kind of talked about in week 1, somatic healing is just, it's sort of all about recognizing sensations and emotions in your body and how they come up and what may be stuck. Like if there are those negative emotions that you just, it feels like it's stuck in your body. Like you feel a lot of what people say that kind of keys me into, there might be something there. It's like, I feel like there's a weight on my chest, right? I feel like there's a weight on my chest, or I feel like, there's a block in my throat. Like words like that kind of key me into feeling like maybe there's some somatic stuff there that needs to be worked through.
I think that's really great. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next time with some of our other things that we're doing.
Yeah, lots of good stuff happening here.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.